50 million copies sold. The highest rated game on Steam. Built entirely by one person. And that person started making it because he was afraid of getting a real job. This is the story of how a guy who couldn't get hired anywhere created the game that half the internet refuses to put down. Eric Barone was born in Los Angeles in 1987, grew up in Auburn, Washington, and graduated from the University of Washington-Tacoma in 2011 with a degree in computer science. He did everything right. Got the degree, applied to jobs, waited for callbacks. They never came. So he took a part-time evening gig as an usher at the Paramount Theater in Seattle, tearing tickets and showing people to their seats. He later said he was afraid of the grind, afraid of sitting in a cubicle and programming something boring that he wasn't passionate about. The irony is that fear would become the entire premise of the game he was about to spend 4.5 years building. He started in 2012, originally called Sprout Valley. He posted it on Steam Greenlight in September of that year, barely a concept. The plan was simple. He would build a farming game inspired by Harvest Moon, the series he had loved as a kid, but felt had gotten progressively worse after Back to Nature on the PlayStation. He searched the internet for a fan-made alternative and never found anything satisfying. So he decided to make one himself. Therefore, the project that was supposed to help him practice C# for job interviews became his actual life. He worked about 10 hours a day, 7 days a week, for 4.5 years straight. He did everything alone, every line of code, every pixel of art, every note of music, every dialogue tree, every fish you catch, and every parsnip you plant. That was one guy in an apartment. He lived with his parents at first to save money, then moved in with his girlfriend Amber Hageman. She paid most of the bills during those years, while he kept building. That kind of arrangement only works if somebody genuinely believes in what you are doing. She did. A developer named Finn Bryce, who ran a small London publisher called Chucklefish, found Barone on Greenlight around 2013 and offered him a publishing deal. Chucklefish would handle marketing, localization, and console ports. They had zero involvement in actually making the game. That distinction matters. Barone also turned down early access. He refused to take pre-sales. He said he would release the game only when it was feature complete. In an industry addicted to shipping, broken, and patching later, he just kept working. The game opens with your character sitting in a Joja Corporation cubicle. Rows of gray desks, flickering lights overhead. A sign on the wall reads, "Join us. Thrive." Then you find a letter from your dead grandfather. He left you a farm in a place called Stardew Valley. You quit your job and leave. The whole thing takes about 90 seconds, and it mirrors exactly what Barone did with his own life. He was afraid of the cubicle. He built a game about escaping the cubicle. The fantasy he made was the fantasy he was living. On February 26, 2016, Stardew Valley launched on PC. It sold 425,000 copies in the first 2 weeks. Within 2 months, it crossed 1 million. By the end of 2017, 3.5 million. The numbers just kept climbing. 10 million by May 2020, 20 million by May 2022, 30 million by February 2024. And then something happened that nobody expected. In March 2024, 8 years after launch, Barone released the 1.6 update, free, like every update before it. It added a new farm type, a mastery system, new festivals, doubled the multiplayer from 4 to 8 players. The previous peak concurrent player count on Steam had been about 95,000, set back in January 2021. On the day 1.6 dropped, 236,000 people were playing simultaneously on Steam alone, more than double the old record, for a game that came out in 2016. The game sold roughly 11 million copies in 2024 alone, 8 years old, and it had its best sales year ever. IGN went back and re-rated it a perfect 10 out of 10. Therefore, the question everyone asks is the wrong question. People want to know how the game sold so many copies. The better question is, why people cannot stop playing it. A day in Stardew Valley lasts about 14 minutes of real time. With pauses for menus and dialogue, a session feels closer to 20. Someone once described it perfectly. Stardew Valley is not a 50-hour game. It is a 20-minute game played 150 times over. You wake up, water crops, talk to villagers, fish, mine, forage. Then the clock hits 2 a.m. and you go to bed. The game only saves when you sleep. After the save screen clears, a new day starts immediately. Your crops might be ready tomorrow. You wanted to talk to Shane. The festival is in 2 days. Just one more day. Always just one more day. The genius of it is the contradiction. The entire message of the game is anti-corporate, anti-grind, go at your own pace. There is a central choice where you can either restore the town community center through farming and foraging, or you can sell out to Joja Corporation. The game clearly wants you to choose community over commerce. Slow down, breathe, enjoy the simple life. But the mechanics underneath are so precisely tuned that players routinely lose entire weekends without noticing. Small rewards every single morning, crops ready, skills leveling up, friendship points ticking higher. Scarcity from energy limits and seasonal cycles that make every decision feel important. The most relaxing game ever made is also one of the most compulsive things you can put on a screen. The characters are part of it too. Shane is dealing with depression. Pam is an alcoholic. Sebastian struggles with social anxiety. Kent comes home from war with PTSD. These are not cardboard cutouts. They have actual arcs. You bring Shane enough pepper poppers and you start to see him try. You watch him show up to therapy. That kind of slow, quiet payoff over dozens of real-world hours creates an attachment that keeps pulling you back in ways a cutscene never could. Then there is the Harvest Moon angle, which might be the strangest part of the whole story. Barone built Stardew Valley because the franchise he loved had lost its way. He made the game that Harvest Moon's own developers couldn't, or wouldn't. And when Yasuhiro Wada, the creator of the original Harvest Moon, was asked what he thought of Stardew Valley, he said he was very happy. Instead of Harvest Moon being forgotten, he said, "It has become powered up, and it has gotten even better." He felt it carried on the legacy of the original because of the freedom you have in it. The guy whose franchise got replaced by a solo developer's passion project was grateful. That almost never happens. And then there is what Stardew Valley did to the rest of the industry. Before 2016, farming sims and life sims were a niche. After Stardew, the entire cozy game genre exploded. Dozens of studios started building games in its image. Some of the biggest releases of the last few years owe their existence, at least partly, to the audience that Stardew Valley proved was there. By February 2026, the 10th anniversary, Stardew Valley had sold 50 million copies. That puts it roughly 11th on the list of best-selling video games ever. The game has generated an estimated $500 million or more in gross revenue. Barone has never raised the price from $15. He has never added paid DLC, microtransactions, or in-game ads. In July 2024, he posted publicly that he swore on the honor of his family name that he would never charge money for a DLC or update for as long as he lives. He told people to screen cap it and shame him if he ever broke the promise. He gradually took back all publishing rights from Chucklefish between 2018 and 2022. He now self-publishes on every platform. He announced a new game called Haunted Chocolatier in October 2021, then paused development on it because the 1.6 update for Stardew kept growing bigger than planned. As of early 2026, he says he is actively working on it again. When asked about the future, he said he likes creating things and does not think he will ever retire. He said it would be funny to release an update when he is 90 years old. Eric Barone was a guy tearing tickets at a theater, afraid of ending up in a cubicle. 10 years later, 50 million people are playing the game he built about that exact fear, and he is still updating it, still charging nothing extra. If you want to see another story about one person going up against an entire industry, that video is on screen now.